Hello everyone on this channel. Today will be the first video from my new trip. It will be a big journey to several Turkish cities, and I will be in Turkey for more than 2 weeks, and mostly it will be not a very touristic regions. I'm already sitting in the airport and waiting for my flight. Today will be a night flight, and to be honest, I dislike this kind of flights because they are uncomfortable, but there were no other options, so that's it. I will have to suffer at the beginning of my trip. Anyway, I want to tell also a couple of words about some cities which I plan to visit. My first flight will be to Ankara, the capital of Turkey, and then I'm going to places such as Adana, Mersin, Konya, and also a more touristic one, it is Göreme or Cappadocia. So it's almost the time to board and let this journey begin, and I will try to show you the most interesting parts of through Turkey. That's it, I already landed in Ankara. It's not Ankara itself, as a village called Esenboga, and now I will have a ride on a bus to Ankara, and I think that I will arrive not in the city center where I booked my hotel, but to the bus station. So I will need to make a change and to go to the center. It is already sunrise, so I think that the road will be very picturesque. I arrived to the bus station, and now I will make a change to a metro station. Once I already visited Ankara, and I know that it's easy to get to the city center from the bus station, so I think it will be a short ride and I will be in my hotel soon.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind when we rewind. Feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I
am already in my hotel, and it's the second time when I stay here, and I can definitely recommend it. And one of the biggest advantages of this hotel is about check-in, because you can check in not only from 12 o'clock or from 14 o'clock, but you can check in even in midnight, and it will be the same day as for this hotel. And of course, if you will have some flights that will arrive to Ankara at night, it will be a good option, and it is also quite affordable. This room for two persons cost me $28, and the quality for this price is quite nice. Last time when I stayed in this hotel, it was a single stay, and to be honest, the room was almost the same. It was also a room for three persons with two beds, so maybe almost all of their rooms look like that. I already slept a couple of hours and now it's time to go to explore Ankara. Tomorrow I will have a bus to the next city, but I also want to show you some attractions of Ankara in this video too. But first of all, of course, I will start with a good dish with Turkish cuisine.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless.
So now I came to one of the restaurants in the city center, and the first dish that I want to order in this journey to Turkey is Adana kebab. I missed it a lot and it is one of my favorite dishes from Turkish cuisine, and I also took mercimek çorbası or lentil soup, which is made in Turkish cuisine quite nicely. But you can also find a lot of other interesting dishes.
Ukrayna'ya selamlar, Kiev'e.
Ankara isn't a very touristic city. You can find a lot of people from Europe, for example, or from other countries here, and even now when I am walking on the streets I can't see a lot of foreigners like me, but I think that Ankara is worth visiting too, because here you can find some attractions and also you can feel more traditional style of Turkish life without some European style hotels, European style service. Yes, the service here is good because Turkey is about hospitality, but the way of this service will be completely different, and it is really a good idea to explore it here. One of interesting parts of the city center is also about these pillars. They mounted them, of course, to fight with some parking, illegal parking on the sidewalks, and of course they prevent it quite nice. And what looks really weird to me is that they are concrete, and if you will touch it with a car, I think that consequences will be really big.
Felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me out of the storm. I found home in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold. It's funny how easily a life can be torn apart. Why couldn't I simply see that I was sick at heart?
I also want to tell a couple of words about road traffic in Ankara and in Turkey too, because here you can find a very interesting behavior of drivers and also of pedestrians. If you will see a crosswalk here and it also can be with a traffic light, I think that you will be one of a few people who will mention it, because mostly pedestrians here, they just look on the cars and they just walk. If it will be a red light, it is no any problem, and a lot of pedestrians, they walk on a red light very slowly. They cross the road only a couple of seconds before the car will also go through. And it looks quite weird, but from other side the drivers use the same behavior too. They can also easily drive on the red light, and near can also stand the police, and there will be no problem at all with this kind of behavior. But anyway, I can definitely say that it works quite good here, and it looks like everyone likes it.
Felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me out
Now I'm going to the castle of Ankara, and of course you can go here by taxi or by bus. Nevertheless, if you like walking, it will be a nice idea to go by foot. You can also visit a park here. I think it's called Park of Independence, and it looks really nice. You can find a lot of nice places here. It is a very green park with a lot of trees here, with some ponds in the center, and there are a lot of interesting zones. Of course, they are made mostly for locals. You can find some open air gym here, also a track for running, and it looks really cute. And I think that you will have a pleasure from walking in this park. You can also find a small commerce here. You can order some coffee or tea, and it will be served in a Turkish style. But the quality of this tea or this coffee will be exactly the same as you will find in some expensive restaurant too. Of course, this park is more for locals, and you can find a lot of citizens of Ankara that are walking or running here or playing with their kids. And it will definitely be a pleasure to visit this park, this green place of the city. It has its unique vibe, its unique energy, and if you will have time in Ankara to visit it, you should definitely do it. I think that you will like it for sure. And here you can feel a quiet Ankara, because from one side it is of course the capital of Turkey, and it is a really big city, but in the city center you usually don't feel it, and you can enjoy a slow pace of an eastern city here. Plenty of people, they are just walking here, and you can also be a part of the city here.
I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together. What goes up must come down. There's lots of friendly faces all around, and nothing's ever lifting me higher than a touch of your sweet desire. What we're all built in right. We just have to hold on through the night. As long as we are watching the fire, we'll be safe from the devil's choir. I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together. Yeah, yeah. When things go wrong, it's easy to sing a sad song. Seems like nothing comes for free. Yeah. And it won't take love. Your fragile soul will soon be strong.
Now I came to the historical part of the city, and here you can find an old buildings. They are built in a traditional style. It is white walls and also wooden windows. In some way it is more common for some European buildings. I can even say that it looks similar to some Lithuanian buildings, but it's a very common style in the center of Turkey. And here you can also find a lot of small cafes and restaurants with national cuisine, and it is really a nice place to visit, which is located on the road from the new modern city center to an old castle. Yes, it will be a climb to this castle because the castle, of course, is located on the hill, but I think that to go here by foot is definitely worth it.
Make it together.
now I'm already in the castle of Ankara, and here you can find a magnificent view on the city. I think that from the walls of the castle you can see almost any part of the city, and it looks really stunning. I also like that this castle looks more natural than a lot of, for example, European castles. A lot of things are more wild here. You don't have a lot of barriers here, and a lot of people they are just walking on the walls. And if, for example, they will fall down from the wall, I think that it will be only their problem. But in some way, it is even more interesting because you believe it more, and it doesn't look like some imitation of an old times. You simply feel the breath of the history here. You can also find some persons who are selling some tea or coffee here, so if you want to just sit here and to drink something, it will also be an option. So as for now, it is one of my favorite places in Ankara that should definitely be visited. It's time for some coffee for me, for some Turkish coffee. And if we will talk about Ankara, of course it's a big city. Now it has a population that is more than 5 million people. But you don't feel it here. It is a calm city with its own vibe, and as for me it looks like some a small city, and it brings an emotions of a slow pace. And I think that if you want to have some entertainment here, you should also search for it in the day, because I don't think that a lot of places work at night here. Unfortunately, I can't translate to you the smell of the city, because now the weather is just perfect and the smell of fresh grass is a really charming one. In these colors, Ankara looks really beautiful. So now I came to one of local restaurants with Turkish cuisine. I think that you can also find something European here, but of course I want to try some Turkish dish, and it is a place where you can find a lot of local people. To be honest, here in Ankara there are no a lot of places that are made for tourists, because it's not a very touristic city, but from other side you can see how locals live, what they prefer, what they do, and it is really interesting.
Senin almış beyazlığı ayda, saçların rengi geceden, bundan gece sevdam. Sen yatarken benimle kalbini, ağlaklım gibi seni, o çünkü özlüyorum. Sen yatarken benimle kalbini, ağlaklım gibi seni, o çünkü özlüyorum. Sen yatarken benimle kalbini, ağlaklım gibi seni, o çünkü özlüyorum.
I already came to my hotel. It was a tough day for me, mostly because of this flight, night flight. Now I want to sleep, of course, because tomorrow I will have a bus to Göreme, to Cappadocia region, and in the morning I think if I will get up early, I will also have some time to walk in Ankara. But for today that's all. Subscribe to this channel and see you in new videos from this trip and also from other journeys to different countries. Bye.